Hey. So how did your guys, how is your child doing?
Mine's doing okay. He seems to be coming out of some of his little issues, which I'm kind of happy about. Don't know how that's happening, but yay.
That's funny.
How's yours, Haley?
Yeah, same. Like mine's coming out of some issues, but he's got some other issues now. Mine is now ADHD. So he went from being like really clingy and shy to like really obnoxious and can't focus in school.
No.
Oh my goodness.
So, but he's like excellent in everything except he just has a hard time with school. It was kind of funny. The last assessment was saying that like he's doing good, but the teacher is complaining that he just can't focus in school and needs me to help with that and go to a psychologist and stuff. So I didn't know you went to a psychologist for ADHD. Like I've never had it or known anyone that has it. So I didn't know that was something that apparently that helps.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
Yeah, I think the pediatrician, I wouldn't think.
That's what I would have thought. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm supposed to take him to the pediatrician too, but also to a psychologist. So
my oldest son is autistic, and this was years ago because he's 25 now. And I took him to his pediatrician, and he tried to give him ADHD medicine. And I'm like, no, he's not ADHD. So, yeah, that's how far we've come. And then he tried antidepressants, and I said, he's not depressed.
Oh, man.
Not crazy.
That's bad. My husband's cousin lived with us for a few years, her teenage years, and we had no idea what we were getting into because it turns out she's bipolar. But when we first went, they wanted to give her antidepressants, which if you're misdiagnosed with that, it actually can make them worse because they need different medication for bipolar. I was like, no, you need to listen to me. Like, because it was so obvious, the huge highs and the lows. I was like, no, you can, like, I don't know, sometimes they just don't listen well enough, I think.
Oh, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
That was a fun few years, let me tell you. Anyways, mine is doing pretty good too. Yeah. There was some of his like shyness and stuff that he came out of, and then at first he was a little shy at preschool, and then he started getting it was weird. He went from like kind of shy, kind of similar, but then to like making tons of friends and super outgoing. So like, okay.
I swear it's random. It's random. It has nothing to do with our answers to these questions.
Did yours talk much about like language, how their language is doing?
Yeah, mine's actually doing really well with all of those types of developmental, language and social and all of that. But he still has gross motor delays. And it's, we were playing at the park and doing all that stuff. So I have no idea.
Well, we have to have some things to deal with, right?
That's right.
What about you, Haley?
My kid, his language is really good, and he like scored above average, and he's actually above average on gross motor skills. And
awesome.
Barb, I feel like we answer the same, like go to the park and go help him play, and explore stuff. So it really is random. But did you guys have another baby?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see. Like, yeah, me too. So I think that'd be interesting. They'll probably throw some stuff in about like how he treats. I know mine was starting to act like a baby again. Said like he's imitating the baby, and what do you do to help him? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had to laugh because we're focusing so much on the firstborn child, which all parents do, and which will be a middle child. We should probably focus on that one. Just start over.
Oh man, we'll just deal with one child. It's easier, right?
Yeah, I didn't know I was getting into a family situation. No, I'm kidding. No.
What I signed up for.
How many kids do you have in real life, Barb?
I have 4.
Oh, okay.
My baby is a freshman in college. So
Wow, exciting.
I feel old, but I tell you, it is a lovely time. My kids I enjoy being empty nester more than I should, but that's okay.
Hey, you should enjoy it. You paid your dues.
That's right. I'm definitely going to enjoy being the grandma stage, but I want them to take their time. So, rush that one.
So funny. Haley, are you married? Kids? Anything?
I'm married. I don't have any kids yet.
Not yet.
So we'll see.
So
How many kids do you
you're
have?
getting prepared.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
How many kids do you have?
I have 2. 13-year-old and a 11-year-old. Boy and a girl. We wanted
Just
8
like
kids, and now we wanted like 8 kids, and now that we have 2, I'm like, what the heck were we thinking? Because before you have kids, you're like, mine are going to be so perfect and calm and sweet, and they're going to do what I say, and they're never going to scream in the store, Oh my gosh, reality.
Yeah, reality.
Thanks for the encouragement.
Right. No, we would have had more if we could have, but we couldn't, so it's all good. But anyways, trying to see what other questions.
My little boy was beat up.
Are you kidding?
Wait, what?
To the park, and it was like Brian was beat up by his friends, and I felt so sad. I was like, what do I do? Like, my poor kid.
Did they
the saddest thing.
So sad.
What was
give you an option to comfort him? Was that a question?
I think so. I can't remember exactly what it said. I think it was just like, how do you react, or like, how do you help him react afterwards? But I just like kept thinking, and I wrote it down in my notes, like, my kid was beat up. My 2-year-old, like, it was when he was 2.5. I'm like, who beats up a 2.5-year-old?
Oh, that's so sad.
That's
oh my goodness.
Easy. Mine fell off the swing at the park, but he didn't get beat up.
But he fell off the swing. That's sad.
Oh, no. I don't think, I'm trying to remember, I don't think mine had anything like that. They said he loves to, what was it? Like on his bike, just go in circles, round and round and round. It's like, all right. And the question's like, what do you do? Join him, try to get him to do other things. Okay. Funny.
Yeah, so you have 2 people going round and round. No, I'm kidding.
I know, right?
Right.
Okay.
So mine, an advice that I gave me was that I should help him learn skills indirectly instead of like telling him exactly what he should do. And I just thought that was an interesting piece of advice, because it was like, come up with games to teach principles and stuff with, which makes sense, but I just hadn't, I mean, I'm not a mom, so I just hadn't thought of like needing to indirectly teach my kids. So did you guys, either in real life or in the simulation, did you see that or have any thoughts on that?
I didn't have that one.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
How would you like indirectly teach your kids, besides playing games with them all the time? I mean, at some point you just kind of have to say like 2 + 2 is 4, right?
It's probably, I would think it's more like principles, like not lying or something. I don't know. They have like tons of little kids books that you can read that like kind of teach those principles without like, I don't know, in a fun way.
Yeah. You could do parallel play too, and like with, stuffed animals or something, and enact something that he's struggling with and let him be characters. You be a character, he be a character, and that's kind of a great social thing to help him understand what's socially acceptable, like fighting and you know.
Yeah,
Might
that's a good
That's a
idea.
good
therapy of getting beat up too. Let him beat up a stuffed animal. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh man.
How do you think the stuffed animal feels?
My sister is a
No,
marriage
that's a good
family
idea though,
therapist.
role playing. Sorry,
Oh,
Shelly.
sorry. No, sorry. My sister's a marriage family therapist, and she said, like, so they have toys and things for the younger kids, and she said, you'd be surprised what you can learn from a kid playing Barbies in your office. Because, you know, like, they act what they see and what goes on at home a lot of the times. And so, you know, if it's like regular play or if it's like, I'm gonna kill you, stop beating, you know, or like, just like, it's just so interesting. I was like, that's fascinating actually, like how they play. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously sometimes they exaggerate things, but there's a difference in that and like normal things the kid would say.
That's
Even
interesting.
as a leader, you hear things that maybe you shouldn't hear, and that's kind of, you know, you have to be cautious. Some of the comments you guys make.
Yes.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me too. I teach piano lessons, and I have a couple of kids that live in homes that aren't horrible, but they don't have the gospel, and they're just not really nice, like in more poor areas and stuff. And anyways, I've had a couple of them because they have ADHD too, and so I've tried to help them like create their own songs on the piano. And it's interesting because they'll put lyrics to the songs, like they'll start singing to the songs. And one kid like started saying like nobody likes me and I just feel so alone all the time, and he's like expressing all these things. And that kind of probably the Barbie thing, like just
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your thoughts come out with those different things, and these kids are feeling this way. And so I guess like I need
Oh,
to show him love and stuff because it was really, really sad.
that is
I
sad.
would have never known that he's feeling that way, but he
It's,
feels alone all the time and wrote this song about feeling alone. So,
Maybe his parents don't even know that.
yeah.
I wonder if writing the song, it was almost therapeutic for him. You know, putting it out there probably was a good thing.
That's true.
Yeah, I hope so. I never thought teaching piano lessons would be more than just piano, but
Yeah. Huh. Well,
I'm trying to see what else.
yeah.
Did it talk about being ready for kindergarten? Mine said that he's ready for kindergarten, which was exciting.
Yeah, that's right. Same
Mine's
here. Mine too.
Yeah, mine was kind of slow to warm up like yours. And now he's gotten rid of that and he's like leading out and play with his friends and stuff. So kind of nice to
That's
see
the
that.
same here. One of his things at first
Yeah,
was, like I said, kind of being like shy and not like playing with kids when he first went to preschool. And then, you know, it asks you the questions like make play dates or encourage him to make new friends and stuff like that. And then he got better. So,
Now, I didn't have hardly any interaction with having this new child other than my child being excited about it. They didn't bring in anything, which I thought was
I
interesting.
don't know. I think mine was the same as Haley's. It was like he likes to feed her and play with her and sometimes imitates, you know, like worried or like I don't know, asking kind of about like if you're worried about regression and I'm like, that's normal.
Interesting. Yeah, I
because mine
didn't get
was
any of
like
that.
that's interesting because mine was like he's making baby noises and he's acting like the baby, and you can tell that he's really jealous of the baby. What are you gonna do to help him be more independent and happy? And I think I said like we'll spend more one-on-one time with him, like just continue to show him the same amount of love as the baby. But I'm sure that's hard. I mean, with the second child, you guys have experience with this, but kind of figuring out how to balance, because I know a new baby takes all your attention, and so giving other kids attention is probably hard as a parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I know with my son, he loved to help. So feeling like the big brother who can do things for his little sister, being a big helper and like expressing like, yeah, you're such a good helper and things like that helped him a lot. But it is hard because especially when you're nursing, like I swear you're nursing like 18 hours a day. Not really, but feels like it.
That's funny. Mine weren't that bad. I had my two boys first, and I kind of had my kids in stages. So I had two, and then a little break, and then two. So my oldest son, he was autistic, so he could really care less. So it wasn't a big deal. And then my girls, I had them last, and they were very close. And so they were just excited about everything. So my older daughter is kind of a very mothering type personality anyway. But I tell you, I sure wish I would have had the girls first because of that mothering behavior, because with the boys, ask them to go get a diaper or something, and they look at you like, are you serious? With the girls. But, oh, well. So.
How's your son now? Is
he's
he
fabulous. We actually worked with him one-on-one a lot, and he's actually done really well. He's a college graduate, and
awesome.
Without any accommodations, you wouldn't even know he has an issue.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's a long ways. It's interesting because when he was 3 years old, he had a vocabulary of 5 words, and so just seeing how far we've come to where he is today is just really cool. Really cool.
That's awesome.
But
is he living on his own or is he living with you?
Huh?
Is he living on his own or is he living with you?
He's just graduated, and so he's moved back in with us for a little bit while he's looking for jobs. He has a contract job, but he's looking for a permanent job. And so he'll be back on his own again, but he's lived independently, at school and all of that. So, yeah.
That is neat. And working with them makes a huge difference, too.
Yeah.
He's lucky.
Yeah, I tell you, I learned more about parenting being his mom. My other kids say they were blessed because of it because, I had to work so hard with my first one. But I'm grateful to have all this knowledge and this understanding, but I wouldn't wish the experience on anyone.
I'm sure it's like 5 times the amount of work.
It was tough. But I love where we're at right now. He's such a great kid.
That's good.
Yeah, he actually has a couple of girls that kind of ask him out for dates and such. And wow. But his little sisters just say he's going to be an amazing husband and father because he's so kind. So they're excited that he's taking it at his own speed. So I just wait for
Right. Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
It's strange to have girls asking my son out. That's just backwards to me.
Come on, son. You shouldn't be asking them.
Yeah.
But that's good.
Mine's only 13. I'm terrified of thinking about him and girls. No, I'm not ready for that.
Sorry for you.
Luckily, he's still afraid of girls, so we're good for now.
It's that age, though. It's coming.
Right? Especially if he likes them or thinks they're cute. He doesn't talk to them. I'm like, you just say hi like a friend. He's like, I can't. Like, I'm okay with that for now. I'm sure it's not going to last very long.
Well, at least they can text and stuff now, so they can get to know each other without having to do it face to face, and then it makes it a little easier for the face to face.
That's true. Well, was there anything else that stuck out to you guys about your child?
I think that was mainly it for me.
Okay, same here.
Yeah, that's all.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stop the broadcast.